Hi there. Welcome to Egoma, a free community for meditators and practitioners of self-awareness in daily life. I would like to introduce Prashanth. He is the author of the book Living Awareness Through Meditation and Practice. It is a practical guide to help you get started with meditation and deepen your practice of self-awareness in your daily life.
It's so easy to live on autopilot, right? We just move through our days, kind of reacting to things without really being present. But what if there was a way to wake up? Today, we're going to dive into this practice of living awareness. It's all about shifting from that automatic mode into truly, genuinely engaging with each moment. So let's start with this really profound idea from the source material. The most valuable thing you could ever possess isn't a diamond, it's not some rare gem, it's this exact moment. Right here, right now. There's only one of these, and it's happening as we speak. So how do we find this rarest stone? Well, the source introduces a really interesting kind of practice, and it's not about adding another to-do item to your list. It's called the habit of non-habit. And what that means is it's the continuous act of just noticing, of waking up from all those automatic behaviors that kind of steer our lives. Now this, right here, is such a crucial shift in how we think about it. The goal isn't to get rid of your habits, not the good ones or the bad ones. It's simply to see them. Because when you do that, every single habit, from how you drink your morning coffee to how you react in traffic, it suddenly becomes this little doorway to understanding yourself a bit better. All right, so let's dig into that rarest stone a little more by really understanding the state we're usually trying to wake up from, good old autopilot. So here you can really see the difference laid out. On one hand, you've got habit. That's automatic living, right? It's the same unconscious action, just on repeat. But then you have practice. That's aware living. It's about consciously observing this totally unique moment, which, it opens the door for a completely fresh response, not just the same old programmed reaction. Okay, but to really get this practice of awareness, we have to understand the main tool we're working with here, and that's the mind. And the mind, at its very core, has this one primary way of making sense of the world. It divides things up. And what's so interesting is that this isn't framed as, a flaw or a bad thing. It's just the mind's mechanic. It's how it works. To understand a tree, it has to separate it into roots and a trunk and leaves. To make sense of the world, it just draws lines and creates boundaries. That's literally how it learns. And oh boy, do we apply this mechanic to everything. We are constantly splitting reality into these little twin buckets. And it's not just objects, it's concepts, it's people, it's entire ideologies. This whole sorting process is just happening automatically, all the time. I mean, think about how deep this goes. We draw these lines around our nationality, our beliefs, our identity. We define ourselves by what we are, which of course automatically creates a sense of what we are not. The mind is basically a constant line drawer. This quote, wow, it really nails why the mind does this. It actually thrives on complexity. Think about it. A simple, undivided reality, it offers nothing for the mind to do, nothing to solve or achieve. So it complicates things to justify its own job, to feel that sense of accomplishment. So if our minds are just naturally wired to divide and complicate, what are we supposed to do about it? How do we work with that? Well, this is where the source offers a really powerful tool, the light of awareness. I absolutely love this metaphor. Awareness isn't a weapon and it's not a judge. It's just a flashlight. As you're walking through the alley of your life, your thoughts, your actions, your emotions, awareness just shines a light on whatever's there. And here's the crucial point about this light. It doesn't try to change anything. It doesn't try to fix it or analyze it. It doesn't label things as good or bad. Its only job is to reveal. It just lets you see the dividing mind in action without getting totally caught up in the division itself. And this is a trap that so many of us fall into, right? We try to force our minds to be quiet or we try to stop judging. But the practice isn't about control. It's all about recognition. You're not trying to stop the process. You're just watching it happen. And when you just start watching this whole process without trying to control it, something really fascinating starts to happen. You stop seeing it as this problem you have to solve, and you start seeing it as a kind of dance. So naturally, the big question that comes up is, okay, so should I just stop my mind from dividing things? If division is the issue, shouldn't I be aiming for pure oneness and unity? But the source offers a much more nuanced answer. Instead of picking a side in this fight between separation and oneness, the practice is to see the interplay between them. You can see the distinct parts of a plant, right? But you can also see the plant as a whole. Both of those perspectives are true, and the harmony between them, well, that's the dance. Okay, and this is such a critical distinction to make. Sameness is like trying to make every single piece in a mosaic the exact same color. It just erases individuality. But oneness is seeing the entire beautiful mosaic, celebrating how all the different colored pieces come together to create one unified whole. Sameness forces uniformity. Oneness actually transcends the differences. So, this really brings it all home. The unconscious mind, its default setting is to divide. But a conscious mind, an aware mind, can unite. It can see the whole picture without losing sight of the individual parts. This constant interplay, that is the great dance of awareness. And really, this is the big takeaway here. Wholeness isn't found by ignoring our differences, but by seeing them clearly and celebrating them within this larger context of connection. It's about holding both of those truths at the exact same time. So let me just leave you with this to think about. What if we stop fighting the mind's natural tendency to separate things, and instead we just embrace it with awareness? How might that change our experience? How does seeing all the parts more clearly actually allow us to appreciate the whole thing in a brand new way?